What's up, sports fans? Welcome to another week of the San Diego Prep Insider Track Podcast. Officially this week brought to you by the swag department at Will C. Crawford High School. This is Coach Marquez. That's Mary York. That's Noah Laxina. I'm Christian Pedersen. We're white. Is it a whiteout? What do you call it? Iced out? Like
Iced out.
Iced out. We're also excited because this is the first year that this new facility has been opened back up, and everyone likes to say, oh, it's the football field, but it's also home to a track team. So there is more than just the football players are back to having a home, not having to go on the road, which I'm sure you can testify is infinitely more Is it more difficult being a track team without a home than a football team without a home?
It's about the same because, like for track, this is the first time we actually been running the distances that we're supposed to run. Our practice field, if you can see behind us, way over there at the middle school, so we were running on grass last year. You know, so now
and you can't quite get that curve right for like the 200
right, and it's not the same feel. We only had 5 hurdles last year. This year we have a full complement of 100 hurdles, so you can get out here and run your race every day, long jump hit, everything.
So if CIF did like an 83-meter race with one hurdle, you guys took prep for that.
Especially on grass.
Yeah, on uneven grass with a little patch of gravel at the end, Crawford is undefeated in that category. Well, and that just shows that the toughness of this team is there, and now it's all paying off. You've been able to have home meets. You've been able to just kind of tell us how the season's been going, man.
It's a good season this year. We lost only one dual meet by 1 point. So hopefully Madison beats Mission Bay today and we can take that league title. But it's been a great year. Just having everybody, every event is full. There's people doing every event except pole vault. You know, it's not like many schools do pole vault. But it's great for the kids to get to try new things and for their parents to get to watch them. You know, over the last 4 or 5 years, it's been hard for the parents to watch them because they never know where we're going to be at or we're too far away. So now the parents can just leave the house, come right down the street, bring the kids with them, and enjoy watching their kids race.
And Coach, we're going to talk to some of your racers, players. I've never athletes. Man, I just dropped the ball so hard right there in showing my my lack of sportsism. So we're going to give plenty of love to your team and whatnot. Until then, we got to talk. I have promised these two that we will talk a different event every week, and Mary's bugging us to talk some distance because some people are insane and like saying, oh, I'm going to run 19 laps around this track right now, and that's going to be like my thing in life. So which do you want to, Mary, which event you want to talk about first?
Let's do the women's 16 and 32.
All right, Noah's got our list for the women's. We'll bust out the 16. Now, did you ever run any distance events ever?
You see these little legs? If I ran distance, I would have to take 1,000 more steps than anybody else. So it was hard enough for me running hurdles.
So who are you responsible for coaching while Noah's pulling up this information? Are you responsible for coaching the distance here also?
No, I have the best distance coach in the county, Talalo Banacio.
Okay, I was gonna say I guess we really haven't a football coach. You know, you can sort of coach a quarterback, a running back, a little bit of everything. A track coach, you bring up a very interesting point of when physically. Well, look, none of Noah's fast in short spurts. I'm fast in shorts. She's the one that apparently has the build to run like that. But Noah, you got that? You got that list for us? So you want to? We'll do top 5 in the 1600.
Top 5 in the 1600 for girls. It's going to be McKenna Brown from the Coastal Canyon, Jessica Reedman from the Coastal Canyon, Kristen Fry from the Coastal Canyon, Lexi Watkins from La Jolla Country Day, and then Claire Brand from Canyon Crest.
And we talked to McKenna Brown earlier this year, and she keeps getting lower and lower. What do you see out of that list?
I think the Coastal Canyon is killing it. I think it is interesting to see McKenna kind of slip down on that. You know, I was looking at these stats earlier, and the girls are all pretty close. They're all like a couple seconds away from each other. And like in the 100, a couple seconds is like huge, but you think that they're running a mile and they're all keeping about the same pace. So this tells me that they're pretty competitive. And I think we're going to see this in the 32 also, because it's going to be the same list of girls that are killing it out there.
Now, Coach, I hear you go, oh, they're fast. They fast. Some of those are even freshmen. So just kind of as a coach, when you have players, you know, internally that are competing amongst a position, and it's not just you need to run faster than that other school, how as a coach would you be able to manage, you know, push each other to a friendly rivalry but don't burn each other out? Like, how do you manage, because you're competing amongst yourself and another team?
Well, it's always good to have a competition amongst the team. That's the best way to get better. like I was saying earlier, having a freshman girl this year that's faster than any girl I've ever had, she's making all the other girls faster because they have to run with her at practice. And even when the guys start to slack a little bit, I'll throw them in her group and she'll push them and make them run faster. So it's always good having that competition, people that are almost at the same skill level, because then you get the best out of each other. And then when you go to meets, it's just, hey, we're friends, but right now we got to compete. So.
We're friends as long as you are 0.2 of a second behind me. Noah, you want to hit us with that 32?
Yeah, so for the 32, we got Kristen Fye, La Costa Canyon, McKenna Brown, La Costa Canyon, Lexi Watkins, La Jolla Country Day, Patricia Messiner, East Lake, and then Skylar Wallace, Sage Creek. I thought for a second I was reading the same exact list, but these girls are out here.
So then, okay, instead of just asking you what do you see again out of that list, in the shorter distances we see greater variation, in the longer distances we see less variation. Is that the longer distances are harder to master? Is there just more talent in the shorter distances? How do you kind of break that up?
Well, what happens is the longer the distance, the more everyone kind of equalizes. And we see this dramatically with the sprints. The sprints, there's a little bit more change at the beginning. You know, you're really fast. Your fastest people are going to win the 100. Your fast people who can be fast for longer are going to win the 200. So when you got a miler on the lap, you know, everyone might have kind of equal-ish times, but then when you tag on another mile, which is another 4 laps around the track, you're going to see that's when even your distance kids are going to start wearing down. So honestly, that 32, the people who can keep on top for the 32, that's endurance right there. That athleticism that it takes is so mental.
And you see the corner of her lips. She's actually smiling, thinking about those extra 4 laps. That's why you are a crazy person. Noah, hit us with top 2 on both of those races on the guys' side.
For the guys' side, 1600, we got Jaden Rosenthal from High Tech High.
There we go.
Jacob Stanford from La Costa Canyon. And then for the 3200, it's Joaquin Martinez from Cathedral Catholic, and Isaiah Labra from Bonita Vista.
So a little bit more split in terms of across the county. Let's just say this, going kind of across the board, we've now talked more or less about all the events in the last couple weeks worth of podcasts, and Coach, you maybe can give some insight into this also. What is your confidence interval right now, or index for the people that we've listed that are in the top couple? Are those going to be the people that we see duking it out for the finals, or in any of these boards, are there people as far down as like 7th, 8th, 10th that very easily could come win this at CIF?
I think distance is one of those things that stays a little bit more consistent. I'm not saying there can't be upsets, but because it is so mental and it takes such a different kind of practice than your sprints or your jumps or whatever, there's such amount of season building that it takes, and shaving off those extra couple of seconds to get ahead of the person in front of you is really difficult. So honestly, I think this is going to stay pretty static. I'd love to know what Noah's like got this face right now.
Noah's always got some sort of face. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I agree. In distance, it's very tough to, have there be many upsets. But I love the underdogs. I've always been an underdog type of person, and I feel like especially in jumping events, throwing events, the best thrower could throw amazing, but they scratch 3 times in a row in the finals and it's over. So. Like we've been repeating on the show each and every week, it's just about making sure you're consistent each and every week, making sure that you don't make mistakes. You have to be on your A game every single week, and especially going into the finals, because if you mess up and you scratch, it could be anyone else. The top 4 throwers can scratch, and number 5 had the most smart day on the field, and they're going to win CIF. So it could go anyway.
I know one way we're going to go is we're going to go over there and we're going to interview some of the best athletes we can get our hands on right now. Coach, I'm going to put you on the spot for this, but do you think that you can teach Noah how to shot put?
Yeah, I can teach Noah how to shot put.
Because I'm looking at the pounds that Noah has packed on in the upper body strength since.
I got a really good throws coach, actually. He's down there right now.
I'm just looking at the same kind of build here. Like we got the bigs versus the skinnies, I feel like. Coach, thank you so much for joining us for a couple minutes, and for the shirts. This is probably going to be Noah's new, hey, can I just wear this for every podcast from now on? So stick around. Come check out Crawford at some point. Like they said, there's a league title hanging in the balance that ultimately it's going to come down to whether or not Keenan Christian can beat Mission Bay. So spoiler alert there.
Do 4 events.
Yeah, there we go. You heard it here first, Keenan. People like to watch you run. We'll see you in a few seconds, sports fans.
What's up, sports fans? We're here at Crawford High School, and this freshman phenom is a big part of the reason why Crawford might be on their way to a league title in track and field men's division. Want to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Abdi Ali.
This is Abdi Ali, and can you tell us what events you do?
100, 200, and varsity relay.
And like I said, he's a freshman, and to post good times as a freshman, be a big part of the reason why Crawford track and field is doing so well. How does it feel to be a freshman in such a huge role?
I mean, I'm just here to run.
So he's just here to run. He's not worried about nothing else but getting his team a league title. That's great. So why did you start running track?
Well, my football coach wants me to run track to get faster.
So that's why you decided to run track. So it gave you better for football. That's great. And what are some of your goals for the end of the season?
End of the season, I'm trying to run a 11.3.
11.3. That would be remarkable, especially for only a freshman. And do you have anything that you do before every track meet, like something like a routine or a ritual that you do before you compete?
Well, I stretch with the team, and I rest.
So not all about business with you, nothing, no fancy dancy, just going out there and competing. Nope. Well, it's great to, talk to you. I had a great time, and good luck the rest of the season, buddy.
Thanks, sir.
Hey everybody, out here at Crawford High School with Miera. How you doing, Miera?
I'm good.
Good. This girl has a finger in every pie. Tell us what events you do.
I do high jump, discus, 100 meter, and 4x1.
Wow. We don't meet a lot of girl discus athletes.
Yeah.
At least I haven't. What is it like being a thrower?
It's different. I barely started this year, and I placed third place twice so far, but it's pretty cool. A lot of guys think it's cool, the discus thrower, so it's pretty cool to me.
It takes such a different set of skills than sprinting does. Can you describe the dynamic? What's it like trying to learn something new like that, especially as a senior?
Yeah. I mean, it takes time. It took me a while. I didn't throw until the second meet, I think. But, I mean, it's pretty easy. I'm a fast learner. So.
This is your first year on this track, too, huh? So has that made, and you've had home meets also, right? So has that made the season easier, more fun, more exciting? What's your take on it?
I think it's made it way more fun, more school spirit. And, since last year we didn't have a field, so this year it was just way different. I wasn't going to do it this year, but I came and I saw the field and it was beautiful, so I just wanted to come.
Good way to close out the senior year.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. I've been asking everybody this. I'm looking for the athlete in San Diego who eats the best breakfast of champions. And right now, top of the list is Carl Jr. Western Bacon Cheeseburger and those s'mores Pop-Tarts. Mm-hmm. So what do you eat?
Carl's Jr.
No, seriously?
Yeah.
Wait, what's
No,
specific? Oh, okay. I was gonna be so excited.
No, I eat sausages in the morning.
Sausages?
I eat sausages and peaches, like stuff. A lot of fruit. I just eat fruit and string cheese every day.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm stuck on this sausage. Like turkey sausage or like?
Yeah, turkey sausage. You just throw it on the frying pan right in the morning. Takes like 8 minutes, and you're good.
Girl, that is a breakfast of champions. Way to go. All right, thanks so much for being on with us. Hey, everybody. I'm here with one of the most, one of the toughest distance runners in San Diego right now. Tell us your name.
Nader Ali.
Nader Ali, who is top of the stacks in the 32, the 16, and what, the 8 also?
The 8, and I did the 400 as well.
And the 400. Wow, get some sprints in there. Wow, so we're rocking everything from the distance to the mid-distance. What does it take to be a distance athlete?
For me, I've been running for 1 year, and it takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of hard work during the season, off-season, during summer, like every time, winter, the whole time, just work out.
Yeah, distance, you don't really stop practicing ever, huh?
Yeah.
Do you have so you're a junior, right?
Yeah, I'm a junior.
Okay. So is this your first or your second year with the team?
That's my second year with the team.
Second year with the team.
I ran last year, sophomore.
Okay. So why distance?
I love distance run. when I tried the 100 before, it was like a short run, and the 200 it wasn't like long run, something to go catch up to people, or like to like short something. I like to run a lot. I like running around circle. Yeah.
You like that? It doesn't get boring ever?
I mean, nah, it doesn't get boring. Yeah.
So you like the chase? You like finding that person and
Yeah,
getting?
I like chasing people and try to beat them at the last 100 meter if they're not too fast for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that your strategy then, to kind of like hang back at first and then?
Yeah, I mean, I always go for PRs. If you're running slower, I'm gonna take off. But if you're tough runner, running fast, I'm gonna stick behind you to take me with you. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. All right. So we all know that distance runners have to eat to fuel up, right? You got to get those carbs in you. And I'm trying to find the athlete that has the best breakfast of champions. So what do you eat before race day?
I eat a couple eggs, potatoes. I love chicken and fruits too, bananas, apples, and
Bananas.
mangoes, whatever. Yeah.
Mangoes?
Yeah.
Do you ever make like smoothies for him?
Yeah. My mom loves mangoes, so.
Aw.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, last question before we say goodbye. We're almost at the end of the season here. What are your hopes to wrap this thing up?
My really number one goal is to go to state in the 800. I'm working hard for that.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck with that. Thanks so much for talking with us.
Thank you.